in the area right now as severe thunderstorms make their way through the Midlands.
Yeah, it's very rare that we have an enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms here in the Midlands and really covering up most of the Palmetto State at this point. You'll notice all of those active warnings right now in those orange boxes. And so that includes Richland County, also for Lexington County, even Orangeburg County. We're going to talk more about these storms and what's headed our way as we move to the weekend with your First Alert 10-day forecast. Chief Meteorologist Dominic Brown here on this alert day. We have several severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for the Midlands. So let's take a look at some of these. You'll notice some of the information. We just got a severe thunderstorm warning for Chesterfield, Kershaw, and Lee counties until 5:15. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Calhoun, Lexington, and Richland counties until 5 o'clock. There's also another severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Kershaw County and Northeast Columbia here until 4:30. And then we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Bamberg, Calhoun, Clarendon, and Orangeburg counties until 4:15. It's very active here. We're going to take off those gray boxes there, Kevin. And what we're going to do, we're going to try to look a little closer to some of these storms and try to track these as they're making their way towards the area. We'll notice, though, rain is now beginning to move even closer to downtown Columbia. And also we're seeing it stretching all the way from Kershaw County towards Camden and Elgin, Lugoff towards Pontiac. And again, all this continues to move mainly to the east at around 45 to 50 miles an hour. So tracking this storm here, downtown Columbia, yeah, there you go. 425 right on the doorstep. Gaston, 440 that we're seeing some of this intense rain and gusty winds. Also near Bishopville at 459. So right on the doorstep of 5 o'clock, the worst of this system will be right on top of you. And also talk about what's happening here at Eastover, 502, Sumter at 521. If it holds together, moving in that eastward fashion, we'll likely see the worst of the weather, the worst of the rain, also those gusty winds that will continue moving in your direction. Also the severe thunderstorm warning for Orangeburg County, parts of Clarendon County as well. And let's track these storms. Yeah, there you go, Kevin. We'll do that as it continues moving mainly to the east. And so if it continues, this is some intense rain you'll see right there with these sails as they move eastward. But near the Somerton area at 432, the worst of the weather right on top of you. Batten down the hatches for areas in Santee at 444, near the Bowman area at 451, Kingstree at 506, and near the Lane area at 521. We can expect some gusty winds, excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour. And we could also be looking at some hail. Maybe we can put on some of that hail product if we can, Kevin, and we can show folks what's really going on here, and we can put the tool on there, the query tool, then we can see what's actually happening. So we're likely looking at least quarter-size hail in areas in Clarendon County. Much of the same here. That's a big bullseye just north of Columbia. How about this one here? Less than that. That's going to be near probably east and southeast of Batesburg, Leesville, and also some more intense hail there near quarter size for Lee County. Of course, we do have that now severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Kershaw and Lee counties. And so if we can take this off a bit more, and what I want to do is go back to the live radar and show the lightning one more time. And if you can at some point maybe give us a view of how much lightning that we're seeing from these two distinct lines, we'll probably just try to draw a red box there, and you can see how intense this is. That includes areas all the way from Augusta through areas in the PD, and you'll see it right there, about 700 lightning strikes, 704. Okay, so we're talking about some intense lightning that's moving through. Make sure everybody's off the water, whether you're at maybe Lake Wateree, you're at Lake Murray as well. We want to make sure folks are staying as safe as possible as this system continues rolling through the area. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to transition and go to Futurecast, because I want to show you what will be happening over the next several hours. Showers and thunderstorms will continue rolling through the heart of the Midlands and beyond. Farther to the east here with showers, thunderstorms, gusty winds, and this will continue riding towards the I-95 corridor with some heavy downpours, some intense lightning out there as well. And we'll continue seeing this pushing farther to the east toward the low country, even the PD, as we head towards 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Now, we have gotten some storm reports, including some trees down in the area. With more on that, here's Meteorologist Von Gaskin.
That's right, Dominic, and that's where I want to start. I want to start by showing you our radar with all the intense lightning strikes on here. Of course, there's so much lightning, you can barely see where the rain is. So I want to take you in and show you some of the damage that lightning can do. The storm reports are popping up. I'm going to take you to the two we have in Newberry. The Highway Patrol is actually reporting that a tree is down, and this is in the road at South Carolina 26 to 49. That happened about 3:36. Additionally, in Newberry County, Highway Patrol also reporting a tree down, and they're saying saying this is in the roadway at Interstate 26 at exit 80 eastbound. So watch out for that. That happened at about 3:54. Also, Highway Patrol reporting a tree being down in the roadway at US 25 and 378. This is in Edgefield County. Additionally, right on the line of Edgefield County, Edgefield and Saluda counties, we are reporting a tree being in the road, and that is again near that same general area, happening right at about 3:36. Of course, we'll continue to watch these storm reports. I just got a brand new one that popped up in the Blythewood area. I'm going to go ahead and get some information on that, and I'll be back with more information.
So, Vaughn, we're going to be watching out for these storm reports also with the radar. But over the next 10 days, if you've been wondering what we're expecting tomorrow, dry conditions. The first day of summer officially at 11:54, the summer solstice. Numbers around 96 for highs, around 97 going into Saturday, 95 for Sunday. Now, you will notice that we do have showers and thunderstorms in the forecast by then. And then the rain chances really go for about 20 to 30% as we go through most of next week. High temperatures early in the week, very hot, around 97. It will likely feel like the triple digits. Mid-90s for highs Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Again, you'll notice those 20% rain chances there, and around those 93 next Saturday and Sunday. We're keeping an eye on the radar with those severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll give you another update after the break.
All right, Chief, thanks so much. I just wanted to give an update. I think we showed a picture just a moment ago while Vaughn was giving you an update on some damage in the area, and we'll show it again for you in just a moment. But wanted to let you know, especially out in the Blythewood area, it's one of the busy areas this afternoon, right near Cobblestone Park. That street is Syrup Mill Road. That's the picture. Thanks, you guys. On point right there. A tree is blocking Syrup Mill Road in the Blythewood area. Again, this is right near that entrance to Cobblestone Park. Obviously, Greg, with these severe storms and a lot of power outages, by the way, right now, people need to be very careful if they're out and about.
Power outages reported, trees down in the area because of these high winds. And in fact, we have another warning that is likely coming into the newsroom just now. And in fact, when you look at damage like that, it is because of the wind. And there are probably likely many cases like this where many trees have fallen. Be prepared perhaps for some backups in some areas as they work to get the trees out of the way. But power outages reported. But let's get back over to Chief Meteorologist Dominic Brown. Details on that new warning.
I was going to say, Chief, it looks like a new thunderstorm warning for the Sumter Manning area.
You got it right there. Sumter County, also for areas in lower Richland County there. Orangeburg County, now we have for the southern reaches of Lee County, the northern reaches of Clarendon County, and Calhoun County, the eastern areas there until 5:30 this afternoon. We're watching this system here, and it's mainly going to be this line. Let me take off some of the lightning here so you can see. I'm going to take off the warning boxes. Things get a little jumbled up there, but let's show you what's going on with this line. Again, this is going to be the line that we're keeping an eye on right here as it rolls through areas in Kershaw, also Richland County, Lexington County, and we'll continue moving mainly to the east here. And we'll call it about 50 miles an hour as it moves through. So Pillion, about 436, Eastover at 454, Dalzell at 455, the Sumter area, the city of Sumter at 512 and 524 for Florence. That's what we're watching with this system as it rolls through. And we have some very intense lightning, but also we're talking about some gusty winds. Guys, at some point, can you put up the tower cam for us? We're getting some very heavy rain. That's our live tower cam on top of our studio here in downtown Columbia at Bull Street. And we're also seeing, I believe, a tree down. Is that correct, Vaughn?
Right in front of our station.
Right in front of our station. There's a tree down right in front of our station.
Now blocking Bull Street.
Okay, so it's blocking Bull Street at this point. So that's happening right outside on Bull Street. We're getting some of the same weather that you're getting at home. Okay, so we're getting some of the same effects that you would see right at home at this point. And so all I want to do is, Kevin, if you could go to the radar for me and just track this storm. Again, for areas in Richland County, Sumter County, that's that new warning for us. But we have all this lightning here that's really more of a lightning show for us. So we want to make sure everybody's as safe as possible. But intense rain here, very, very strong for areas in Orangeburg County. In fact, let's zoom into areas here for areas in Manning, Somerton, also near Calhoun County and Orangeburg. Check out all these lightning strikes. All right, so these storms still have a lot of energy with them. They're very potent as they mainly move to the east at around 45 to 55 miles an hour. And we also have those gusty winds too. We can show you the tower cam, and that's going to be, again, live outside. You'll see that car right there, okay? You'll see a couple of those cars. Wait a minute, that's in the corner of Bull and Gervais. Yes. Oh, so this right outside. So this tree has been uprooted. Yes. This tree is uprooted right now over areas outside.
We're trying to get a live shot up now, Chief.
Okay, so we're setting up a live shot. This is intense rain that's going on almost sideways outside, and that is going to be a tree that's uprooted right on the corner of Bull and Gervais Streets here in downtown Columbia, outside of our studio at 1111 Bull Street. And so it's blocking Bull Street. I'm not sure if that is, it doesn't look like a station vehicle, but regardless, we have a couple of vehicles there on Bull Street that are now most likely damaged from this tree. And this is just a closer look at it. We have folks who are on the scene right there. That is a really big tree, and we pass by this tree every day, Greg, coming into work.
Yeah, in fact, I just popped out the door of the studio, and literally it's about 20 feet from where we're standing right now. That tree came down, yeah, right at the entrance of the WIS-TV Studios. If you step out the door, you can see it very clearly, that tree coming down and blocking Bull Street right now, causing a little bit of damage, you can imagine, to the cars beneath it. But again, a fairly large tree right there, right next to Bull Street, came down in what is now a very heavy thunderstorm moving its way through Columbia right now.
And exactly, this is what we're tracking right now, Greg. This is a tree that, because of some of the winds that we've been telling you about over the past few days, we've been alerting you to this first alert day over the past few days, and this is what we're seeing right over downtown Columbia. Let's zoom in even more, Kevin, if we can, over near Bull Street, and you can tell that we have areas here, and this is going to be this area that we're watching. Okay, so we have Main Street, of course, is going to be in this area here, and we're going to continue watching this heavy rain that's over the area, causing some blinding rain out there. And of course, this is not a great time because I know a lot of folks are probably trying to get off of work. They're trying to go pick up the kids from camp, maybe from a church program. But this is going to be the area, again, that we've seen the tree going down right outside the door. So not that far outside the door here of our main studio in downtown Columbia. So we have this intense rain, also the intense winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour. This is stuff that we can't play with. Can we go back out to that image, though, or one of those pictures that we can show folks what's going on? Because it's very compelling to show folks what's actually going on. Sure. And Caroline is live outside right now to let us know what in the world is going on. It's pretty active.
All right, sir. All right, guys, like you said, we've been talking about, I want you to look down to the corner here. You can hear the sirens coming. We've called 911, but you can see this tree completely uprooted, even with the sod out of the ground here at the corner of Bull and Gervais Streets. We've already got crews out here. They were working with us here in the building on an unrelated matter. They've got a chainsaw out here. We are trying to kind of cut some of these branches down. As you can see, with the look of that tree at its base, it is a very old tree. It's very large around in circumference, and so it's a very active situation. It looks like Columbia Police Department just arrived on scene, but they're trying to clear some of those branches because, believe it or not, there is a car underneath there. We actually just saw the gentleman that was in the car. He walked out. He says he's okay. He's talking to the police right now. We can see Columbia Fire Department right here at the intersection of Bull and Gervais arriving on scene, but it's this work truck you're seeing right here next to the flagpole that we're not sure at this point whether he was driving down Bull Street or if he was parked here, but we know he was inside. But like again, I said, we know that he's okay. So the next thing you're going to have to expect is a lot of traffic delays here at the corner of Bull and Gervais Street. We've got Columbia Police who have part of the intersection blocked off, along with Columbia Fire. And this, like I said, because the tree is just so large, it extends pretty much the entirety across and diameter of Bull Street. So Bull Street here at the corner of Gervais is completely impassable at this point as these crews and some of our own WIS employees work to try to get some of these limbs out of the way. But what I said, like I said, I can confirm that there was a gentleman inside the car when this tree came down, but he is okay. We have seen him get out. He is talking with Columbia Police, refusing medical treatment from what I could hear, and is okay. But this just speaks to what our First Alert weather team has been talking about at length throughout today and the last couple of days, the threat for these damaging winds. And this really speaks to it when you look at the damage that this wind did here in downtown Columbia, just completely upending this very, very large tree here at the corner of Bull and Gervais. So these crews here, as you can see, are going to be at this for a while just because of the sheer size of this tree that has fallen. Maybe we're trying to get a little bit better look here at the crews that are working with the chainsaw, and it looks like maybe some hedging hedging clippers, something to that effect to clear. I think their first priority, it looks like, is to get a lot of these branches off of this work truck that is parked on the street here on Bull Street at this meter. So that's what it looks like they're doing right now. They've got a couple of tools here, but again, avoid this area. We know that that afternoon commute is coming, but this Bull and Gervais intersection is a mess right now just because Columbia Police and Columbia Fire have got to block this off while we work to get some of this out of the road, at least some of these smaller branches. And then, of course, the removal process of the base of the tree, the larger part of the tree, will take some time too. So if this is part of your drive home, just remember to be patient. And as these storms continue to move through, right now, rain's coming down pretty good. And interestingly, I'm looking at the flagpoles and the wind has somewhat subsided. But like I've said, this just speaks to the power and how quickly something so life-threatening can happen with these damaging winds. Guys, if you want to keep the picture up, I kind of want to send it back to you. I'm going to kind of move around and see if we can get a better angle here. Maybe you can come back to us here in a second.
And Caroline, if you can hear me, I was wondering about those first responders. I mean, I know that tree went down just a few moments ago, and it looks like people responded pretty quickly. I don't know if those were people who were in the area who just rushed to help the gentleman. I saw somebody in a military uniform. So Caroline will work to talk to the folks out there to get a sense of who was on the ground. We know that CPD has already responded. Again, Bull Street blocked off. This is right in front of WIS at the corner of Bull and Gervais. And for those who may just be tuning in, Caroline pointed out that there was a man in that vehicle. You see that huge tree sitting on top of it, but we're told that he seems to be okay.
Yeah, no injuries reported in all of this, and it is worth noting, as you mentioned, just right outside the studio, had it fallen probably, I don't know, 20, 30 feet the other way, it could have come right into the building, Dominic.
Absolutely.
This is the nature of these types of storms.
So we're going through exactly what our viewers are going home at times when we have severe thunderstorms rolling through this area. Heavy gusty winds that are moving through, the heavy rainfall, the strong winds that can bring down trees and tree limbs, and you're seeing that right there outside of our main studio at the corner of Gervais, even Bull Street. That's also between our building and also the South Carolina School of Law there. And so we definitely have first responders on the scene, something, again, that we typically see in this area when we have some strong gusty winds, but also some heavy rainfall. That tree is uprooted, falling over the trucks there. But thank goodness first responders are quick on the scene so we can take assessment of what's going on. So this is what we're tracking, all of these warnings here. Let's go ahead and keep that video up there, because if we can, I don't know if anybody wants to kind of see that video. It's compelling right now, to be honest with you, because this is an example of what we tell folks all the time, what we tell our viewers at home. When we give you these alert days in advance, even if it's the day of, we want you to take heed of the advice that we tell you, get into a sturdy structure, but also make sure that you are staying updated with this weather as it moves through, and it's moving through very quickly. You'll see all of these severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect for our area until 5 o'clock for areas here in Calhoun County, also Lexington and Richland counties. We have some until 5:30 for Clarendon County, Sumter County, some for Lee County until 5:15, others in Lee County until 5:30, and then 4:45 for areas in Orangeburg County. And so we have some intense rain with some of this activity. If we could show the radar and show you what's going on with some of the lightning and get rid of some of those boxes there, you'll see that we have two intense lines here showing you not only the intensity of these storms and how strong they are, but also where they're headed. One in the southern reaches of our viewing area, that's moving over Clarendon County, over Manning. It probably sounds like the world is coming to an end. Probably much of the same in eastern parts of Calhoun County and Orangeburg County. But then you're also seeing this very strong line that's moving through areas in Lee County. That's really bowing out right there. So we're likely looking at some gusty winds, and that continues on this track here all the way from northeast Columbia, downtown Columbia, towards Lexington County, even Aiken County. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that our folks are going to let us know about. Von Gaskin is over near the computers to let us know what will be going on with this one. If we could put these warnings back up, and then we can alert folks what's going on. I'm sure some of these have been reissued. So some of these warnings are probably being reissued or maybe extended. Okay, this one's being extended. So areas in Orangeburg County, that's going to include Bowman, eastern Orangeburg County, toward areas in Holly Hill and Vance. Also for areas near the Somerton area in southern Calhoun County. And you'll also notice the southern reaches here of make sure I'm getting that right, Calhoun and Clarendon counties. That's until 5:30 this afternoon, so 5:30. So again, that is Orangeburg County, Calhoun, even Clarendon counties and parts of Bamberg County that we have a new severe thunderstorm warning until 5:30. That means that we have winds in excess of 60, maybe up to 70 miles an hour. And what we've seen already outside of our main studio, these storms are doing some damage. You'll see that image one more time. If we can we take that image full again? Because again, this is probably the most compelling thing that we're seeing outside. This is a little video that we've taken not that long ago. But again, you'll see that tree uprooted, and we were already hearing about reports of trees down, I believe near the Silver Street area in Newberry County, also in Orangeburg County, I believe, that we had trees down, and other parts of the state have seen trees down because of the gusty winds from these storms. And so this is proof on the ground here that we have outside of our studio, right outside of our front door, that we're seeing a large tree now doing some damage to some of those cars there between the University of South Carolina School of Law and, of course, WIS News 10. Talking about some of the hail, this is also going to be a big threat from some of these storms as they're moving through. And Kevin has highlighted some of the hail here, but we're likely looking at hail at least a quarter sized in parts of Manning. Also, you'll notice what's happening here just south of there near Somerton, close to it, about 1.5 inches. That's going to be near areas in Bamberg. And you'll also notice areas here right on the county line of Kershaw and Lee counties. We have hail that's just a little bit lighter or a little smaller than quarter size. Kevin, what I want to do, though, is I want to show folks in Richland County first what's going on because we had the storm to move through. But as Caroline Hecker was just reporting, we're not seeing that much rainfall out there right now. Can we zoom into this area? And we're going to see our folks here in parts of, let's see, downtown seeing some rain, but not as much over us, not that intense rain that we saw before. Now, a lot of that is moving over areas in Horrell Hill along Hopkins. That's going to be along that 378 corridor and moving over Fort Jackson as well. We also have some, and I want to show this one here closer to Lee County, if we could just kind of toggle that over a little bit. This one's kind of bowing out a little bit more, and you'll notice, you'll see how it kind of does something like this. Okay, and that's more of a bowing shape there, like a bow and arrow, indicating some of the strongest of the winds. They have a bullseye right over areas near Bishopville and Lee County. So folks in Lee County, we need to make sure that we batten down the hatches and hope everything in the yard is sturdy and tied down, because of what you've seen outside of our studio here in downtown Columbia. There could be a similar story here. In fact, let's zoom in and maybe let's zoom in and maybe we can see a couple streets here, just get a little bit closer. Of course, that's State Highway 31 and I-20 here. And so, again, a white knuckle drive for some of us, but we will get into some rural areas as it continues moving on this east to southeastward track going through the area there. And yeah, just a couple little roads. We'll just keep it right here, Kevin. Egypt Road, and I think that's Red Hill Road under the gun with some of the heaviest of the rain and likely some of the gusty winds as well. WIS News 10 reporter Caroline Hecker is standing outside. Caroline, it's just a mess out there. Look at that.
It absolutely is, Dominic. I mean, look at this. We're now standing at the corner of Bull and Gervais. You have a